Just to give the audience here an idea of the scale, you talk about how many products are currently in the Pimberly database that this chatbot is searching through. Ballpark, of course.
Well, there are, in terms of its initial thing, we were looking at 25 million products. And then, if you look at the amount of attributes, I'd, I'd guess that hit think, you're talking about probably up to 4,000 different attributes. And also, you've got various different variants, multiple different languages. And that doesn't include the unstructured data such as images, etc. So we're talking about in the scale of massive databases. It's not huge, but it's a pretty big sample.
Right. So in terms of the project itself, what are some of the recommendations that you can share with our audience if they are to move forward with an AI implementation? What are the do's and don'ts from your experience?
Yeah. I think it's having a vision of what we looked at. What would be a wow sort of thing. Obviously, ultimately, we're about selling our product to other users. So we're sort of thinking about the issues that our customers have. So what can we address, etc. But if you're using it for your own internal purposes as well, then it really is about, well, what are some of those sort of thorny sort of problems that you wish that you could solve, but are just a little bit too hard, and to try and have that discussion and say, well, look, we'd love to be able. So for us, it was like we'd love to be able to just ask Pimberly, about a whole set of questions, and then sit down with somebody like Debash's Quantilus and say, look, which of these questions can be answered right now? And obviously, it's all about accuracy, because at the end of the day, you don't, ultimately, sort of, you don't want to be littered with sort of, false positives or whatever. So it really is about having somebody that will say, right, okay, these are the things. This is what can be done right now, and this is how or where you would go. Looking, and these are things that actually, yes, it could be done, but it's not going to be overly accurate, therefore potentially not pragmatically very useful, is one thing. So identifying those problems that you've got, listing out all your wish lists of what you would like, or for us, it was, these are the questions we'd love to be able to ask our database, for example, and then being able to actually have a pragmatic sort of view of what can be done now, and then really focusing down. For us, it was focusing down with something that can be delivered and delivered rapidly, because especially if you've got your own in-house devs like we have, there's nothing they'd like more to spend 3 years doing R&D on AI tools. But obviously we're a commercial operation, and so what we need to do is say, right, okay, what can we deliver that's going to genuinely add benefit, within, sort of like a 90-day cycle, as it were, and let's do that. And that's what I'd suggest, certainly for us, is more, and for me, who was the ultimate sort of like say yes or no to spending money, that's what really I focus on.
Great. And what are your future plans for AI at Pimberly? What's next with AI?
Um, well, I mean, ultimately, it's I think you look at things and you say, well, there's a few different elements to it. There's one is, well, where are humans still needing to actually do sort of research, to be able to fill in the gaps. Obviously, I'm just thinking about product here, fill in the gaps that they get. A lot of the time, especially if it's customers that are selling products that's not their own, they've not manufactured it, it's not their own brand, so therefore they're selling another customer's branded products, then that data is already usually out there in the Ethernet. So a lot of the time, it's sort of saying, well, what are the tools and how can we make it super easy to go out and look and then bring it back, have the confidence that the data that you're bringing back is accurate, and then being able to actually present that data to users for them to validate is one area. So that's reducing that sort of human or very low skilled human interaction. Other areas are finding basically, if you like, white space, in terms of, well, okay, well, I've got a customer, that I know what they sell, I know what they manufacture, I know what they do. But what can we ultimately say to them? Actually, there's products and services out here that are very similar to yours that we believe are should be easy for you to also produce, etc. But where we see that there's high demand, and so can ultimately a PIM solution be not just if you like reactive, but also be proactive in actually telling a customer, well, look, these are what you've got, but actually these are the things that you should be selling, as well as on top of that being able to say, and this is how you should be presenting the product for this unique customer segment, such that it gives you the best chance of ensuring that your product is seen and that it meets their requirements and that they will be delighted with that product and lower returns.
Yeah, thank you for that. That was very insightful, and hopefully that was useful for the listeners.